Monday, 4th of May 2020. US market is open. We still have 1.5 towards US cash market open. Piotr here, Light Forex Global YouTube channel. My pleasure to be with you. New month, new challenges. All right. So we are going to discuss what we are waiting this week as we are going through few FX charts. So without a further delay, let's start. Okay, when it comes to the calendar, there is a long weekend when it comes to Japan. We had European manufacturing PMI around the expectations, the low expectations. What's ahead? During the next Tokyo session, we are going to have Australian RBA, central bank. So it's a rate decision time, right? Plus the statements, very important. So where we are from the Australian dollar perspective? Well, taking into the consideration the monthly chart, to be honest with you, I have to be honest, and looks like the bulls did well. Well, the other thing is, if it was like the profit taking, if it was like the short covering, the weakest short been forced to get out, right? Anyway, we are almost around the nice supply level. So from the monthly chart perspective, right? From the weekly chart perspective, we already hit nice supply, right? So I'm not surprised that last week we've seen upper shadow over here. So slowly, what is all about here? There is a possibility we are going to, let me draw the zone for you. It's a weekly, so it should be blue. We are going to use aqua just to to have a visibility. So we hit 50% of that zone, strong rejection, right? Now either we are going to look for more stops above last week high, and we are going to finish the business around 66.40, 66.50, right? Or we are going to test 50% of the previous week range, right? And we will try to reject. The first target is around 61.50, but overall my first target is around psychological 60.11, right? I'm staying short. And again, guys, link is in the description. You can check live what I'm trading, right? So it's not only that we are discussing the trades, but also what is more important, the thing that you can monitor my activity, all right? Now, going lower to the daily time frame, all right? What we have here, what I like here is the attempt to trendline break. One more time. On a daily attempt to the trend line break. So what I'm going to look for is some kind of the retest with rejection of the trend line, right? So trying to visualize, because the rate decision is during the next Tokyo session, we might see over the course of the day tomorrow attempt to break higher with some kind of the rejection, upper shadow, right? And the direction to the downside, all right? I'm staying short, but no doubt if market is going to do what we visualize here, I'm going to add into the short position. So that's how I see the Australian dollar. Next, we have tomorrow trade balance from US, trade balance from Canada. All right. Then Wednesday, very important day in my opinion, because we are going to get ADP, right? So it's like some kind of the preliminary ahead of the non-farm payrolls. We are going to get also on Wednesday, we are going to get also US crude inventories as well as European PMI services. Thursday is very, very important in US. It's unemployment claims, weekly jobless claims, and Friday is very important because of non-farm payrolls. So overall, we know it doesn't look good in US. But when it comes to the US dollar, not sure if you noticed, but the thing is that whatever we are going to get as a news related to the USD, even if it's weak, usually it's pushing dollar lower, but only for a few minutes, hours, and then market is buying back the dollar. There are some rumors that Chinese banks scrambling for a dollar, also some emerging markets scrambling for a dollar. Looks like there is some kind of this shortage when it comes to the dollar. All right, so what we have on the euro dollar, basically on the monthly chart, right? We were trying to build the lower shadow, so still from the high time frame perspective, attempt to build this swing low, but as I mentioned previously, I don't like the body, right? And we closed with the negative body. We are below the weekly open right now. The PMI in Europe weak. There was an upper shadow rejection, right? So there was an initial attempt to weaken the dollar towards the Thursday and Friday London's fix, right? But then towards the end of the Friday, the dollar been bought again. So for now, I'm staying short euro dollar. Again, you can monitor the trades. A link is in the description. I see lower levels here going on, right? I see at least this type of the solution. So we are going to retest 105. So it's going to be better visible from the weekly chart perspective, meaning that we are going to do at least over under. All right. That's how I see the things on the euro dollar. Now, how to trade it? All right, let's switch to the intraday chart. All right, and my first supply zone for today's US cash session is around 968.70. So the weekly open and the top of that range somewhere around 110. All right, so in between 970 110. Nice possible over under, especially if we are going to see from here. Wow, was nice move. There was attempt to go higher, okay, with the rejection at the same day, gap down. So attempt to close that gap would be nice. That's where I would add into the short position when it comes to the euro dollar. Now there is a possibility. And we have to be aware, me as a seller, I have to be aware where before my target, I can see some kind of the, bullish activity. So if we do remember what we discussed previously, we have this old range with this attempt to go lower, reversed higher. So 50% of that range already been tested, as you can see on Thursday. But anyway, somewhere around 108.50. All right, as a first. But then we have two previously untested demands. So here is the very nice liquidity pool below 108.30, and it might open 108, 107.70, 107.60. So that's where some kind of the bounces could take place when it comes to the euro dollar. So overall, I'm dollar bullish. So I'm looking to sell euro dollar from the intraday perspective once the US cash market is going to be open. And the last one for today, pound yen. All right, so we were discussing this cross 135.50, 136. That's where I see from the higher time frame perspective. That's from the weekly chart, for example. That's where I see possible supply, right? Which been tested a week ago, 4 weeks ago, right? So that's, we know where we are from higher time frame, because it's been tested because of the higher shadow, right? Let's have a look what we have from the daily chart perspective. Don't forget, we have Bank of England this week. I forgot to mention, I'm sorry. We have Bank of England on Thursday, right? And it's probably not gonna be market mover, and if it's going to be the market mover, probably it's going to push the pound lower. Now, also, if you can see here from the daily chart perspective, taking into the consideration this upper shadow, taking into the consideration these lows, and taking into the consideration the attempt to break higher here, right? So we have some kind of the support around 132. Bear in mind about that, all right? Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm looking for selling opportunity here only if we are going to get the daily close below the Thursday low. So what I wanna see, ideally this type of the close, right, below 132. Then the retest of 132.80, 133.70, all right, that's gonna be my selling opportunity. Okay, so I wanna see today daily close below. I wanna see attempt to go higher and then continuation to the downside, and that's my first target around 120, 129, right? That's how I see the pound yen. We can also move a little bit lower to the hourly chart here, right? And very similar to what we discussed on euro dollar. If we are going to get the close as discussed, so then attempt to close that gap, right? Plus maybe retest of these levels. That's the selling zone when it comes to the pound yen. So I'm watching Australian dollar versus USD from the selling perspective, the same euro dollar and the same pound yen. Guys, don't be trapped. For now we have a little bit of the risk off, but tomorrow we have PMIs Fed. So be careful, because that might be attempt to U-turn, right? So you don't chase the market. You wanna buy the dip. You wanna sell the rallies, all right? Of course, not every dip is buying opportunity. Not every rally is a selling opportunity. But do your own research. My pleasure to be with you here with this update when it comes to the beginning of the May. More to come. Stay tuned. Have a good one, guys, and see you around. Thank you, take care, and goodbye.